Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy, your elder statesman, J. Hamza Tyler, and I'm with my main man, one half of the Expat Bros. It's my man, AB. Tell him what it is, AB. What's going on with you today?
First and foremost, assalamu alaikum to all that is
Alaikum
watching, to all
salam.
that is listening.
You're
It
right.
feels good. It feels good to finally connect. It feels good to finally start this podcast. Welcome to the year of 2024. We are one half of Expat Bros. As we know, this has been in the pipeline, being discussed by both of us. It feels really good to
Mm-hmm.
finally execute. And alhamdulillah, like Allah has granted us this energy to get this project going, inshallah khair.
Inshallah, kid. Like, the thing is, man, we always talk. Like, we always on the ones, always on the phone, just talking, like, what's going on? How's everything going? We got subjects we're always talking about. We always reacting to things, but it's like in private, right? So
Yeah,
I feel like our energy, alhamdulillah, energy is like comparable. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
it's complementary as well. And I'm a little bit older than you, not too much, but a little bit older than you. And so I have a different mindset. But you're a young guy. You give me energy. Like honestly. So I also like to talk with you on different things. Your perspective is definitely precise. So hopefully people can see through that as we get through. This is the first episode of Expat Bros. You know what I mean? So I think it's important, first thing, to know that, with the names you see on the screen, that's what we like to be called. I'm Justin Hamza Tyler. That's my man, AB. We're Muslims. Assalamu alaikum to everyone out here as well. Welcome into the new year, 2024. You know what I mean? Inshallah, everybody gets, their wishes and everything, pray for, and that the barakah blesses, flows down. You know what I mean? So
I
listen,
mean.
I mean. So who are we, man? Like, who are we? Like, who is AB? Who is Justin Hamza? So listen, I know you the half of the host, but you like I feel like I gotta give you the guest privileges, man. So you go first. Let the people know who
I'll
is
start. I'll
AB.
start.
Yeah,
I'll start.
yeah.
I'll start. No worries. No worries. AB is just one of the many avatars, one of the many
Facts,
personas that I got. You know what I'm saying? So
facts.
it's AB, short form for Abdullahi. For those who don't know me, just been a regular guy, man. Just been a regular guy, expatting around this area. One part teacher, one part therapist, all parts that boy. Alhamdulillah
Yeah.
khair. and and
Alhamdulillah.
we've come this far, man. It's good, man. It feels really good to be to start this project, to be one half of this thing that's bigger than both of us. You and
Right,
I, this it's a synergy, it's a cohesive synergy that
right.
that you and I are on the same path, and like it just feels good, man. Alhamdulillah khair, bro. It's
Yeah.
unreal. It's unreal, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
But but that's honestly, AB is just an acronym, man. It's like an acronym. Sorry, not acronym, an
Yeah.
acronym.
Yeah. Got
And it's the beginning of something. This is a passion
you.
project which will
Inshallah.
showcase many sides of who we are, of what's to come, of what we're gonna do. So I'm very, very excited, bro. Very, very excited. Alhamdulillah khair, bro. So what
Yes.
about Mr. Justin
Yeah.
Hamza Tyler, man? Tell
You
me, bro.
know,
Look,
yo, fam, like I feel like when I say Justin and then Hamza, people confuse, like, yo, what is that? Like,
you
that's
know,
a,
you know, I refuse to call you Justin. Like I refuse to call you. I don't care what it is. I refuse to call you
ooh.
Justin.
Yo, you never call
And
me Justin. I don't remember you
nah,
ever.
no,
Yeah,
man.
that's a
Look,
good point though. You never
I
called me
think
that.
I think the first time when I first met you, you're like, my name is Justin, but like people call me, my Muslim name is Hamza, and I'm like, then I'm gonna call you
Why would he
Hamza.
say that?
Why would
Right.
you say that, bro? Like, what are you talking about? Like to me,
Come on, you
to me,
Hamza.
immediately, bro, Hamza is the name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Nah, facts, facts. I do that because people ask me that question all the time, like, why is it Justin if you're Hamza?
Yeah,
Well, I was like,
yeah.
out of respect for my mom and my dad, rest in peace. Like, I'm always going to
Rest
say
in peace.
Justin, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what I was
Facts.
born as. But as a revert, I always felt like the characteristics and the story of Hamza, always felt that resonated with me, you know what I'm saying? So that's why
Yeah,
you have the dichotomy of Justin and then Hamza. I know it doesn't look like it should be together, but I definitely get conversation from that. You know what I mean? By just saying Justin Hamza.
Bro, your story is very similar to a lot of reverts, especially like for those who know the story of Muhammad Ali, like that big scene when he's like
Yeah,
when he's
yeah,
like he was being enlisted for the army, and they're like Cassius Clay, and then he goes, "My name is Muhammad now,"
yeah,
and that
yeah,
duality of fighting between your past life and your future life or your present life is a big milestone in a lot of reverts.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's a huge. So the Justin versus Hamza tale
Mm,
is always going to happen because it's always going to be,
mm,
you can't forget your roots, you know what I'm saying, or who you are or where you came from,
yeah.
but you can navigate where you are going. You feel me?
Yo, AB, you pulled like some $1 million question out of the hat, like you know what I'm saying?
I'm
Because
saying, man.
there is a duality and a dichotomy between Justin and Hamza because you can argue that Justin was who I was for the first 30 years of my life. And then after that, we got into the Hamza phase. You know what I'm saying? And then now I've been 10 years, alhamdulillah, I've been a Muslim. And so there could be two different stories. And if you ask people from my
100%.
past, they could say there's a Justin story, there's a Hamza story. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Yeah.
interesting the way that you brought it up that way. So that's amazing.
No, man. It's great, bro.
Yeah,
It's who you are, it's who you was or who you're gonna, and then that
yeah,
shaped who you are going to be. So it's life. It's life,
yeah,
man.
definitely.
I can make the
Definitely.
same I can
Yeah.
make the same argument with AB as well, like because
Okay.
AB is also my podcast name, but who we are in real life, there's probably some similarities, but
Mm-hmm.
we are going to be progressing into this, like into this new chapter now of 2024
Mm-hmm.
podcast life. So
Inshallah.
it's inshallah khair, bro.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful metamorphosis, basically.
Facts, man. It's like a snake, man. I gotta grow. I gotta shed that skin. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I'm growing in my phase, and I see a lot of the dead skin. You know,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so
yeah.
that's where I am right now. So that's what 2024 hopefully represents, inshallah.
100%,
Um,
bro. More
by the
more life.
way, just before we get into this, by the way, if anyone thinks I sound like Tone Loc, the rapper, old school rapper, or Shine, or somebody with a crazy voice, Jadakiss raspy voice, I got sick during performing Umrah in Saudi, so I'm still
MashaAllah.
kind of going through the remnants of that. So if you see me pause or get out of the screen for a second, making a little cough, I'll be back on the screen. You know what I'm saying? AB is one more equipped to handle it if I'm not here. So that's
I'm
all.
always here, man. Don't worry, bro. I'm always gonna entertain the audience no matter what.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I got it.
We know that. Oh, they don't know
I
that, but I
got
know
that.
that. You know
They
what
don't know
I'm
that.
saying?
They will know that soon. They will
Yeah,
know it.
they're
It's
gonna
coming.
find out. You know what I'm saying?
They gonna find.
So
They gonna find
yeah,
out.
you're gonna find out today. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
let's transition to the second question. What is Expat Bros? What's up?
This question. It's funny because like when we were brainstorming, it sounds it sounds very simple. Like it's a very surface level question, but if you really think about it, this question was the catalyst for bringing us together. To be honest, if you really think about it, you know what I'm saying? And what is Expat Bros? Expat Bros basically is two guys that had a vision that came together, who are both expats who've been traveling, leaving their home countries, and trying to establish themselves outside of their comfort zones, And through this experience, we've made connections and bonds with other people who are also in the same journey as well. And this journey has not only brought us together, but it also gave birth to a new idea. And this idea is this podcast and what's going forward and how we're going to do it and what's next and all these things. So basically, it's the gift that keeps on giving more. Like we're going to
Right.
keep pushing and pushing and pushing,
Right.
and the beauty of it is that it's coming from a happy place because
Oh
we're
yeah.
like, hey, we're not the only ones going through this. Like, what is it?
Mm-hmm.
So it's what is Expat Bros in simple terms? Two guys with a vision to connect individuals like ourselves and to have a safe area where we can discuss topics and feel that, like, hey, like, you're not the only person going through this journey, so are we. So let's discuss these things, let's have a connection. And the topics can range from many things. So it's gonna be a fun going um pod, basically. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm very excited. Yeah,
Well,
but
yeah. I mean,
that's how I see it. That's how I see
yeah,
Expat Bros. Tell me yours. Can you tell me
yeah.
your?
Because I think the beauty of it is that we have similar, interests in it. We also see it different perspective as well, and we come together like a Venn diagram. You feel me? Like on some of the areas, and so like for me, I look at it from a standpoint of, yes, we're both expats. Yes, we're both Western. Yes, we're both Muslim men, right? But at the same time, we go through the same things that everybody else goes through. We just happen to live in a different place. I think, some people look at Western expats and working abroad. Oh, you guys must make all this money and different stuff like that. It's like, we got same issues and things that everybody else does, man. We just happen to
True.
have a skill that has us over working in a different part of the world. You know what I'm saying? It's not anything
Facts.
crazy different. But we just want to appear to show people that, hey, we are Muslim, we are proud, we are Western, we are proud. We can do both at the same time. We can chew and walk at the same time and be able to feel and talk about different subjects that are going on, not only in our world as expats, but also around the world. Because as expats, you feel everything. Every
Yeah,
story
yeah,
has some type of feeling to you because in the Middle East, these things affect us too. You know,
100%,
um,
100%.
from your home country, your ethnicity, that affects you. From my
Yeah,
home
man.
country, that affects me. You know what I mean? Being black
Facts.
in the diaspora, those things affect me. If I hear them from the Congo, all the way into the U.S. or the Canada, wherever black people are, I feel those things. Wherever Muslims are, whether you're in Palestine or Rohingya or China, whatever, I feel those things too. So the
Mm.
multifaceted aspect of who we are as expats, as Muslims, as men, we touch a lot of different areas, and we just want to explore those different areas on the podcast. So that's the way I look at it. You know what I mean? Hopefully that helped
You know
resonate
what's
with people as well.
you know what's crazy? You mentioned something about like touching different aspects of different cultures and different nations. There's a very there's a very humbling feeling when you are nomadic. You know, like when you are traveling and you get a different perspective, leaving your comfort zone and where you grew up and who you're with and all these things. Especially if you think about like where we come from. We come from small cities, and we live in
Mhm.
these little bubbles. You know what I'm saying? And there isn't that many um, issues that we really face. Yeah, there's issues here. There's issues, but everyone has problems nowadays. It is what it is.
Yeah,
But there's a very like humbling feeling, and when you leave it, and only people who are nomadic, people who are expats who've left it, know exactly this feeling. Okay,
hmm
to
hmm
take that first plunge, to leave where you come from, and you go to a um, different area, and you
right.
and to plunge in the unknown and to conquer something. That feeling of
Mhm.
conquering is one of the most like satisfying feelings on the world, because you left everything you knew, you left you knew, and then you know this because when you go visit where you came from, and you see the same people doing the same things over and over again, you've known that now
Right.
you've not only grown physically, but you've grown mentally, spiritually, financially, all these things, because that takes a huge um, bravado and courage and bravery to to do these things. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
And that's
yes,
and that's basically that's expat bros. There's people. These people have stories that need to be connected and shared, and no
yeah,
better way to do this than through the
yeah,
internet. You know?
yeah. Now you make a good point there. There does take some type of courage,
Yeah, man.
some type of risk taking, some self starting ability, just to travel somewhere where you have no clue
No
what it's going
clue.
to look like or how it's going to work,
You
especially
have
if you have a
no idea.
family. You know what I'm
Don't
saying? And
come
you
on,
just
man.
come in almost blind, like, oh man, I don't know what to expect, but let's go. But I think that taps into people's faith. Some people have faith in themselves. Some people have faith in their God. They just feel like it's going to be all right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And not
I
everyone
would
could do that.
I would even take it further that there's no
Okay.
such thing as faith. Faith in yourself is directly correlated with faith with God, or faith in general. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Because
I
in order
believe
to
that.
have
But I'm just talking about, people who sometimes they don't
yeah
believe in
yeah
God or I'm just by myself or whatever. But
yeah
we know
yeah
we tap into the highest of
hundred
powers. You
percent
know what I'm
the
saying?
highest of
Definitely,
powers, man. 100%.
definitely, definitely.
The correlation is strong, man.
Oh yeah, definitely. We know. And look, I have my faith directly tied to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know what I'm saying? Other
Facts,
people
man.
call it God, other people call it, whatever, like, but it's coming from that source, you know what I mean? So
Facts.
I agree with you
Facts,
on
man.
that one. That's a good point.
Facts, man.
Um, but yeah, that is what Expat Bros is about. I don't want to get it confused with Passport Bros, and we ain't on that stage of life. You know what I'm saying? We ain't doing that. Like forget all that.
No,
But
man.
we are bros. You know what I mean? We
We
just are
are
experts.
bros, man. And I
No
think,
passport.
yeah, I remember, bro, when we were making the name, and I remember prior to us, I remember this like so vividly, right?
Yeah.
The ideas were flowing, right? The ideas were flowing,
Facts.
boom, 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 and then we're like, hey, man, like I think we need a logo, and we were sitting on a logo for like quite some time, right?
Yeah.
And then, but at the time, I was busy and you were busy, so we couldn't give it thought. And then I remember you came to my classroom one time, and you're like,
Yep.
"Yo, let's bang this out." And the logo
Yeah.
that we came up with was done in like 10 minutes. You know what I'm
Yo,
saying?
super quick work.
Super
Quick work.
quick work.
Yeah,
The vision,
it's like
even though my art skills were garbage, the vision the vision
got the
the
vision
vision was
though.
there. The
You got
vision
the
was there.
vision.
The vision, like
Yeah.
we were, it was crazy because and then
Yeah.
right after finishing that garbage drawing that I did, which I funny thing is I still have it saved, by the way. Like I still have it
That's
saved on my
wild.
phone.
Yeah,
I still
keep
have it
that. Keep that now. Keep
I
that.
still have it saved. And then and
Yeah,
then
that was
and then
crazy though.
oh yeah, it was straight trash. And and then the name was like in like a minute. We're like, what are we gonna do? Da da da. And we're like, yo, we're just two guys who are expats. And we're like, bros, expat
Mhm.
bros. And then we're like, yeah, that
Yeah.
bangs.
Yeah.
That right there is us in essence. So let's do it.
Fact.
You know.
Facts.
So
It was like pressed against time because it's before first period class. And
yeah,
I was like, yo, we gotta get this done, fam. I'm tired of sitting on this thing. You know what I
I'm
mean?
tired, man.
And then
Yeah.
boom, we made it happen. Your drawing inspired me, even though it was super trash. It
Oh yeah,
inspired me
facts.
to like get the shit. And then I went to my guy like, yo, you gotta whip it up like this. And
Yeah.
he came through with the vision as well for us, and made it colorful at the same time. So that's dope, man. Let's transition though, and I hope people
Yeah.
got an essence of why we're doing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, 2023, man, people were doing podcasts left and right. You know what I mean? There's so many different podcasts out there, or people attempting to do it, right? So, 2024, inshallah, care, like,
Khair.
why are we doing a podcast? Like, what is it that we're trying to talk to our audience about?
Bro. There's we listen to a lot of podcasts. Number one, okay. And the beauty of it is that um we listen to different podcasts in different like sectors. You know what I'm saying? Like different areas
Facts.
of pods. So I'd be like, yo, have you checked out this pod? And you're like, nah, bro, I'll check it out. And then you throw pods at me, and I'm like, so I think we genuinely, number one, have a love for podcasts. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Um, number two, is that um, even though I'm not a fan of it, there is so many pods that have come out in the past like couple of years now, 3 years now. But you have to siphon and find out what vibes with you, like what are you responsive to, who is the podcaster, what kind of information are you getting, and based off that, then like you can find good quality information. It's like basically uh reading a book. Like there's so many books out there, and then there's garbage books, and there's like amazing reads. So you have to find out which author writes the best, which author has the best genre that you understand, that you like, and so forth. Podcasting is the exact same right now. Now, why did we want to do a podcast?
Facts.
I
Why?
so our why, well, my why, because your why is gonna be different. Our why, I
Oh,
think.
AB, before you go ahead, you sound like one of them. You're in like marriage therapy. It was like, well, my why is because
No,
the
no, no,
reason why
no,
I
no, no,
believe that
no,
I
no.
would.
I find
Nah, I'm
I
messing
find
with you.
I find those people so cringy. By the way, like I find this so cringy.
Well,
It's
my truth
it's
is that
my
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 bad.
truth is, it's like, nah, man, it's the truth. Just say it as it is. I
Facts,
find that
facts, facts.
Hopefully, that the whole like my truth thing has it's
Yeah,
left behind in 2023, man.
we'll
Like
see. We'll
none of that
see.
stuff, man. Hopefully, actually, a lot of things are left behind in 2023. Like I'm praying to that. Khair, inshallah.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the reason why, number one, first of all, this podcast is solely based on passion. Okay, I think passion. I think I'm happy to do this. I enjoy it. It's a passion project. Number two, the information that I want to share is basically, I think a lot of people are in this space. By space, I mean not space. I mean journey that I've gone through, and I feel like we should connect. Okay, I think
Mm,
there's just connect. It's and and people have to learn that they have the ability, and it's also in the deen as well. Also in the deen. Okay,
okay.
if there's khair, if there's good, take from it, and if there's no
Ah,
good, ignore it. You know what I'm
more.
saying? Like
Yeah.
that's literally, bro. This is our religion. Okay,
Yes.
even if the
Correct.
person is even if the person is not Muslim, cool. If they're saying something beneficial, something good, okay,
Right.
in whatever aspect of life, okay, finance, marriage, whatever it is, whatever aspect of life, if they're saying something that is beneficial, that's not going against the religion, okay,
Right.
you can take from it. You have the ability to listen to these people, whoever it is, including myself. If I'm saying something that's beneficial to XYZ person, take from it. If what I'm saying to you is not beneficial, rather than you like castrating me and like outcasting me and like
Oh, don't do
bashing me,
that.
then you know what I'm saying, like just
Yeah. No.
then let it be. It is what it
Right.
is.
Right.
Let it be. But that's literally what it is,
That,
bro. There's many, and you and I know this because you and I had so many conversations where you and I, like, it's funny because as humans we think we're the only people or person going through whatever
ah,
moments, or
facts.
we think we're the only people that does some kind of thing that we do. You know what I'm saying? And then you go into like a circle, or you speak it out loud and you say what you're doing, and then you're like, oh, you also do that too. And then you feel a sense of like camaraderie, and you feel like a sense of
Mm,
like, okay, now I can open up and socialize and share what I'm going through with this person, because maybe it just feels good to have someone alongside you. It just feels good.
yes. Yes,
So
it does.
that's my why. I know at this stage of my life, there's so many people going through what I'm going through, and I would love to share with them and see where we can like basically have camaraderie. That's it.
Yeah, no, definitely. You hit the nail on the head. Like, one of the points that I want to bring up as well is that hopefully our conversations can help people in any way. And great thing that you brought up, one of the things in our dean, because for me, I was going through some tough times as well,
Mm.
and I didn't have the barbershop back in the States to go chop it up with and different people. You know what I'm saying? You know how the barbershop culture is.
A lot
So,
of the
yeah.
barbershop culture is only big in the West, like Canada, US. It's not really big here.
See,
Like
no,
I
no,
noticed
it's
that.
not the same. Not the
Yeah, not
same.
not the same, man.
Like, U.S. and Canada, man, like everything gets talked about in the barbershop. You can go to people and
Everything.
talk to people about things in the barbershop. So, like, YouTube became the barbershop for me. And certain influencers, I'm like, yo, I feel what they're saying on that one. Or, yeah, I get what they're saying on that one. So I was able to kind of not talk to them, obviously, because they're a video or something like that. But I got to hear points of view from different parts of the world. And I say,
Mm,
yeah, I rock with that. So I hope that we can be the same for someone who may be struggling to find their tribe. And they can say, you know
absolutely.
what, I love what AB and Hamza are talking about. That's my tribe. Even though I haven't met them yet, but I feel connection to what they're saying. I
Yeah,
think
man.
number two for me is that, um, how can I say, it's important to have an outlet. Me and you have
Yes.
conversations all day,
Yes.
every day about a whole bunch of stuff. But this is somewhat therapeutic in a way, to get on here and discuss things and to share our perspectives. It is passion. We want to do this out of passion. It is not anything for anything else other than that. And it came up because of that, because we talk all the time. It's like, why don't we, maybe channel this into an actual, like, channel. and have conversations on this channel about the things that we discuss. I think our perspectives are to be valued. I believe that, and I think that's why we're here today. And then the third thing is, for me, I love interviewing people. I love
I
learning
know you
from people.
do.
You know me. I like learning. I like asking questions because sometimes I look at some of these interviews and I'm like, "Hey, B, man, how come they didn't ask this question, man? I would have asked that question right there. I went on their head about that, or I would have dug a little bit more into that emotional pain point that person described, or I would have went
Yeah.
into their background because I know this about this person. So I found
Facts.
myself like I want to add more value, and if I was an interview person, I want to be able to say these are the questions I want to ask people. And so I know, I'm one half of this Expat Bros, right? But at the same time, I ask you questions all the time, and I'll push you on some things, and you push back on me on some things that I say, right? And that's what it's about. That's how we get more out of the situation. That's how we grow and see different perspectives a little bit. So that's the third reason why I think a podcast is important, and why this podcast will be important, hopefully important to everyone else. So.
You know what's it called? As you get older, your circle gets smaller, right? So as you it's like running a siphon through sand, and you're basically siphoning to find the gold. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Right.
that's kind of like an analogy for life. You feel me?
Yeah.
And going time is the best teacher. So you experience time. You experience life, and as time goes, you're getting refined more and more. You know,
Right. Right.
and as you get older, your circle has to, not only do you refine your circle has to also refine you. You get sharper, you get
Mm-hmm.
wiser, you go through experiences, you share experiences, and some experiences are good, some experiences are bad, and but it's those bad experiences, those adversity that you need to figure out where it all went wrong, and and that's where a good circle is needed. People that give you pushback in the right way, and those kinds of things. Because if you're surrounded by a bunch of yes men and people that don't look out for you, or people that don't put your name in places of opportunity, then my friend, you're in the wrong circles. You feel me?
Right. Yeah, I feel you on that one.
And
Like,
and
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
sorry,
Mm-hmm.
sorry.
There you go.
And then one of the most important skills to have, especially as a man, okay, is the judgment of character. You feel me?
Facts. But why?
And
Why is that though?
I'll tell you why, okay? Because character, it's character. Character is what basically opens doors for you
Right.
in a nutshell. Like it opens doors. You how it's not about you start to realize it's not about how much they make or who, but it's what's happening when you're not there. One of my favorite quotes, actually, one of my favorite quotes is that go to areas where you are celebrated, not areas where you are tolerated. You feel me?
Mm.
So,
You sound like
and
you sound
you
like a passport bro right there.
no. But it's true though. It's true though.
It's true though. It's
If
true though.
it's true though, and the same quote can be changed, where go to places where you are present, not places where you feel absent. You feel me? So it's the same idea, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And this, if you really deep it, okay. I'm trying to. Everyone's trying to figure out who they are, their purpose, and trying to build a legacy. You always hear these words: legacy, 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 legacy. All these things you always hear, right?
Yeah.
But like, what is a legacy? What is a legacy? Like what are we trying to do? Because we're put on this planet for X amount of years. So we what are we trying to accomplish in these things? And obviously, as Muslims, our biggest goal is to please Allah. That's number one.
Yep.
But that's an ongoing goal.
Yeah.
That's an ongoing challenge. You feel me?
Yes.
But we also have, and that challenge is ongoing to the point where it's done here in the dunya, and you receive it in the akhirah. But also we also have a
Mm.
challenge here in the dunya as well. Like we're seeing all these things on a day-to-day basis, and one of these challenges is is being around the right people. Being around the right people. And
But how do you know that they're the right people at that stage and station of your life? You
you
see what
don't.
I'm saying?
You don't. You don't, because in the beginning, human beings are very funny creatures, because we gravitate towards hobbies and things that we have in common, culture. You feel me? Like that. So
Mm-hmm.
there has to be a common ground for us to be friends, or marriage, or whatever it is. There has to be some kind of common thing between us,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
and then once we figure out those common things, and we like spending time with that person, male or female, whatever we're doing, then we hopefully we learn more about that person, and then through that experience, good or bad, uh, we basically learn skills that can help us define their character, or help us build our character radar, basically.
Right, right.
And that's literally how no one's good at judging character from the jump. Everyone
Yeah,
has to get
yeah,
good, and sadly you kind of have to get burnt a couple times
yeah.
to gauge your character radar, if that makes sense.
Right. Absolutely, absolutely. Like I remember talking to my father, and may he rest in peace. And he was always telling me, like, son, you got to get hit in life. Now, I think he was talking about really getting hit in your mouth, but in general, like, you got to
but he's
fight
but he's right, though.
because
He's actually
he's
right.
right though.
Both
As a
in both
man,
in both physically and
yeah, both
metaphorically, he's
physically
right.
and
He's actually right.
emotionally, you got to get
Yeah.
hit to understand how hard it feels.
Yeah, man.
Right. So I remember, like, growing up, my nickname was Tough because my dad was from the hood. And
Yeah.
my dad was a hood guy. And
Mm.
sometimes he would put me in situations where I was the only one not from that hood with other kids. And he would be like, yeah, I'll be back, man. Like, enjoy the area, whatever. Like, hanging out with his boys. And I'm not dealing with grown man business. So I'm by myself. These kids like, yo, who are you? I'm like, man, I'm just in the area, man. Well, we don't know who the area is. Who do you know?
This
You
guy,
know?
this
And
kid checked
so,
you. Who's your
yeah,
grandma? Where do you sleep?
ASAP. Like, what's the lineage? You know what I'm saying? Who's
What's
your
the
progeny?
lineage?
You know what
Yeah.
I'm
What's
saying?
your
Like,
progeny? Yeah,
all
yeah.
these things. So it's like either I had to learn how to hoop and play ball with him, or I had to scrap with him. And back in those days, I could scrap with him, and after we done, it's respect.
You know
It's
what's
like, oh
crazy,
man,
bro?
I
You know
like
what's
you,
crazy,
man.
bro?
Yeah.
You know what's
So
crazy, bro?
yeah.
If you ever want to see, if you and I always say this, if you ever want to see a snapshot of society, how
Mhm.
a snapshot of how society functions. Okay,
Mhm.
go to a school. Okay, go to a school, and
Yeah.
and you and schools, like kids, are a snapshot, are a miniature version of
Right.
society. The
Right.
hierarchy, the classes, the what do you call it? The systems. It's
Your
crazy, man.
influencers, your
The
leaders,
influence, the
right?
leaders,
Yep.
and
Right.
you can see it. And the crazy thing about schools, well, kids, not so kids, is that kids don't have filters, so they say it like it is. Well,
Yes.
when you're in the adult world, we've learned as adults to have filters, and
Right.
don't really speak our deep thoughts, whatever thoughts that are intrusive, whatever it is. But kids say it as it is, man, and kids will tell you how they really feel. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
and
Yes.
and it's like a, if you look at it from like a social point of view, a psychological point of view, you really see society for what we are. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. No, you're right though. The school part is actually important. It's not the school itself, but the people in the school. And this is
Bingo.
why you kind of, build your chops and you build your thresholds, right? You build that inner strength, that resilience, that persistence by going through all the things that people put you through in high school. High school's not pretty,
No,
especially in
no,
the
it's not.
West. In the
It's not,
West,
man.
it's not pretty. I've been over here, it's not pretty either. And the thing is like we have to learn how to go through those tough times because once we go through that, people start becoming more civilized as they get older. They start
Facts.
understanding things and masking things a little bit
Facts.
more, and the world should get
Facts.
a little easier.
Yeah.
But I see a lot here of situations where people have to figure those things out. Sometimes they don't know how to. And sometimes it's not about figuring out right away, but it's like, no, I identify it. At least if you identify it, you know what's going on. And then now you
Facts.
have an ability to accept it and to be able to move forward through it. But some kids
What
haven't even accepted it yet,
what you what
so they
you
don't know
what
how to
you
even
what you
maneuver through it
mentioned
all.
what you mentioned right there, identifying it, whatever
Yeah,
it
whatever it is,
is half the problem.
it's half the
And
battle. Yes,
half the
yes,
battle,
yes,
and that is one of the greatest life skills to have, by the way.
yes, yes. It
To
takes
be
time.
self-aware. Oh my goodness, man.
Yeah,
That is one of the hardest skills, and it can only be cultivated through experiences. No one's born with
yes.
it, by the way.
Yes, absolutely. That's the thing, man. And shout out to my pops, man, for doing that. He put me in situations where I had to maneuver with my mind, my physical,
Yeah.
or like, social. I have a mouthpiece. I could talk, right? So socially, I
Yeah.
had to figure it out. But he gave me the real world perspective. When my mother was, shout out to my mom, she was much more like coddle me,
Yeah.
like and not want to give me the harshness of the world. So it's good to have that balance. So, but this is good. Actually, this is a really nice snapshot of what our podcast could be about. You know how we're talking
Fact.
about different things because I
Yeah.
purposely went on a rant and had you go on a rant so people could see exactly what we would talk about and how we would talk about it. You know what I mean?
No, I'm
But
excited, bro. I'm
we're
excited,
gonna
man.
close up a little bit, right? But I got a couple questions for you because I want people to know a little bit about us a little bit more.
Sh- Shout me, bro. Let me know.
So we are in the YouTube space, right? We're gonna be in the
Yeah.
social media space, inshallah care, right? So
Inshallah khair.
like name me one person on YouTube or one podcast where you like, I rock with this podcast, like, and I rock with this person. Why?
I'll tell you, and I love this guy, bro. And you know who I'm going to say.
I
So
think so.
one of my favorite podcasts is The Pivot. Okay, The Pivot is one of my favorite
Ah,
podcasts. Okay,
yeah, yeah,
originally they were in I'm Athlete. They shifted, started their own thing with Fred Channing Crowder and sorry Fred Taylor, Channing Crowder, and Ryan Clark. So
yep,
my favorite podcaster and the art of podcasting, I think he's so good at it. And I've listened to many podcasts. I listened to Joe Rogan, of course, the big guys, to all the way to Zuby, to Flagrant, all these guys, and
right,
and these guys. There's an art to podcasting depending on the genre you're in and the people that you're interviewing. So Ryan Clark is obviously in the sports industry, and he mainly what do you call it, interviews former athletes, mainly in football, American football, and what do you call it, and other people as
yeah,
well in business and everything. Anyways, long story short, Ryan Clark is to me one of the greatest podcasters to personally ever. Okay, and the reason why I think he's the greatest podcaster
he's
is
talented.
because
Yes,
his way of questioning without questioning is phenomenal. Like he
Mhm.
and the art of podcasting is to make your guest or even yourself vulnerable, transparent. Okay, and he always has a way to relating to the guest, whatever it is, whatever questioning, and he asks a question without literally asking a question, and then if you watch his style of podcasting, it's very laid back. It's very this, but he can induce feelings and emotions from the other person, which I think is
absolutely.
a remarkable
Yeah,
skill to have, and
yeah,
not everybody has that. And I've seen it
yeah.
across, and I'm like, this guy is a juggernaut. This guy is a gem. He to have people drop their guards and share something that they never shared before on your podcast is like stamp, man. Like that's a
Yeah,
stamp. That's like a
yeah.
green light. That's amazing. So that,
He's
that's
he's
that's
done
that's my guy.
he's done it multiple times, and most notably, I loved it with interaction with Michael Beasley. And how he
Ooh, the
got Michael
Beasley.
Beasley to open up, and Shaq as well, to open up about his personal life. And he's a heck of a player
You know
as
what's
well.
called? He
Heck of a
changed.
player.
He changed my. So one of my favorite interviews with him,
Mhm.
episodes with him, is that when he did his episode with Dana White. Okay, and obviously Dana White
Mhm.
has a very spotty career and all this stuff. People don't like him,
Yeah, yeah,
and when he did the interview with Dana White, he actually made me change my perspective of Dana White's, and then to go even deeper, of people in general. So people
Right.
have this. Let's say we do a like, I don't know, man. Like, let's say one day we do an interview with like Trump, for example, right? Obviously, people would give pushback and say, why are you doing Trump and this, that, and that. But like, if you when you give someone the podium, and you see their human side, and that's literally that's what a good interviewer is. Okay,
Yeah.
just to have someone show their human side, and then the
Yeah.
rest is onto the audience to judge them. That's it.
Mhm.
And I think
Ooh,
that's the
that's
best
nice.
kind of podcaster. That's it.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. All right. He's a great one, by the way. Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
great one. Shout out to Ryan Clark. And also the
yeah,
guys as well. I love the group, the pivot,
yeah.
as
Great
well.
group. What about yourself? Who do you like?
Mine's also a sports guy.
Okay.
And I really love him for sticking to his guns and who he is. Shannon Sharpe.
Ooh,
And
Unk.
yeah, Unc. Yeah, we all know him as Unc.
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Mr. Black and Miles, Mr.
Mr.
Henny.
Black, Mr. Henny, Mr. Black, astaghfirullah, but Mr. Black and
Astaghfirullah.
Miles.
But that's how people know him. No,
No, that's literally what he does on the podcast.
it's literally
Astaghfirullah,
that's what
though.
people know him as. Astaghfirullah. But
Hopefully,
uh,
Allah
I,
guides him one day.
yeah, inshallah. But
Inshallah.
I like him because remember when he was on CBS early after he
Yeah,
retired from
yeah,
sports,
yeah,
he got fired.
yeah.
They didn't want him. They didn't think he was a good enough talent to
They
be
didn't
on
think
their
he.
roster.
They didn't think he was broadcast material. That's literally what they
Yes,
said.
they
Yeah,
did not think he was broadcast material.
yeah.
He could have sit there and said, you know what, these guys are right. Maybe I'm not. He didn't do that. He said, okay, I'm going to dust that off. I know my worth. I'm going to come back better and stronger. I'm going to show them that I'm
Facts,
better than what they said they were, than I was.
facts, facts.
Then eventually he landed with Skip Bayless. And he had an iconic show on Undisputed, right? With
Facts.
Skip
Yeah,
Bayless. We all tuned in. We
yeah.
saw FS1 and that show go from a certain amount of numbers to just
So like
exponentially blowing up out of the water with the addition
exploded.
of Shannon Sharpe. Did
Correct.
Shannon Sharpe change who he was? No. At the core of who he was, he still was his own personality. The one that we
Facts.
loved when we saw him on Hard Knocks, on HBO, or the ones we saw him on Sundays. He was the same person. He may have improved his diction. He may have learned more vocabulary words. He may became more student of the game, but he's the same person. And that
Yeah.
same personality that did not work at CBS
Quote unquote.
worked wonders at FS1,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
overnight, it seemed like he just blew up and became Unc to all of us. And he leveraged that opportunity because they were going to let him go again.
Yeah.
He took that opportunity, said, I'm going to do it my way this time. While he was working there, he set up what? Club Shay Shay, right?
Club Shay
His
Shay.
own
Yeah.
media production company.
Yeah.
He was smart to do that while he was there because he
Yeah.
knew that his time was going to be up. When they
Yeah.
let him go, he still had that going. That was almost at 1 million followers at that time. And then he pulled the power play of all power plays. If you don't want him, Stephen A wants him. And Stephen A was the
Yeah.
biggest sports
What was
media
the
personality on the Big Five or Big Six networks, right? And what
facts?
did he do? He said, I'm going to go there on Sunday and Monday because why? That's when NFL football games are being played. I'm going to talk about the sport that I love. So not only did he get paid for that Sunday and Monday segment of ESPN, he's getting a check from Club Shay Shay, and he set up Nightcap with Ocho
Ocho
Cinco,
Cinco. That's the
one of the
boy.
other people that
Oh,
people love in sports. And
oh
so
my
my
goodness.
thing is, the reason I love him is not just who he is as a character, because he's such an infectious person on screen, but it's his story and his resolve to keep
And he,
going and set up his own thing because he knew the writing was on the wall or would be on the wall
ooh,
at some point. So that's why I rock with Shannon Sharpe,
bro.
aka Unc. So yeah.
Number two. Well, two things. Okay. Number one, Shannon Sharpe is the epitome of bet on yourself. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Always bet on yourself. Okay.
absolutely,
That's number one.
absolutely.
Okay. Shout out to my boy Fred VanVleet from Toronto
Yep.
Raptors. Well, not anymore, but he's in
Yeah.
Houston.
Houston now. Yeah.
But VanVleet is the one that
Ooh,
that said that stuff. Remember, bet on
Yeah.
yourself. Okay. So
Yes.
number one, okay, if you have a vision, execute, dominate, smash.
Right.
That's the formula. Okay. And number two, the reason why, and I'm gonna say it out loud, the reason why people gravitate towards Shannon Sharpe, Unk, is that he is authentic. What you see is what
Yes.
you get. Okay,
Yes.
even with all the PR training and all this stuff, he could. The funny thing is, he could even go full PR because he still has the
No.
henny and the mouth in
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah. All the time.
So even with all that PR training, my guy couldn't. You can't take the hood out of him. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So literally,
No.
face value. What you see is what you get. You get me? So and that's what people when you are I can't say it. How do you say it?
Unapologetic. Yeah. Yeah.
Unapologetically,
Tongue twister.
unapologetically yourself. Okay, people will come find you regardless. Okay, and this is a famous
100%.
verse. This is a famous verse in the Quran, by the way, which is what we're gonna be. This is basically the foundation of who we are and our podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which basically is that whatever is written for us, no matter what, it's gonna find us.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and even if it's under a mountain, it's gonna find us. Okay,
Yes.
and whatever is not written for us, no matter what we do, it will never find us. I'm sorry. No matter what we
What?
do, we'll never find it
Find it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So this shows you that this podcast just making the connection
Yeah.
between. It's funny how we both look at different things in podcasting. It's kind of funny actually.
Yeah. Yeah. We do.
It's
Yeah. We
funny,
do.
but
We do.
it shows you that our personalities are that different, and when you
Yes.
listen to podcasts, what you look at, and when I listen to podcasts, what I look at, and
Yeah.
it shows you that
Yeah.
if we are authentic and we show who we are and what we do and for what it is and for what it's worth, then no matter what, this is this
Right.
is this is, this is all gonna work out. You know, it's
Yeah.
all
That's the thing, man. Like that's the thing. So he's not Muslim. Hopefully he becomes Muslim one day.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Hopefully,
saying? But like, but he knew.
he'd be a great
He
Muslim. By the way, sorry,
knew.
I cut you off.
Oh, yeah, no, fam. Like, we don't know who's gonna become Muslim. You ask some of my classmates back in high school, if Justin gonna be a Muslim, they be like, nope, ain't no way he
Yeah,
gonna be a Muslim. You know,
yeah.
so but he has it. He has it down. You know, he knows that what's for him is for him. You know, and
Facts.
I'm not gonna let anyone tell me that it's not. So I do respect that about him. So that's good. I just wanted the people to understand kind of like, okay, where do we get our inspiration from when we're looking
Yeah,
at
man.
podcasting and how do we want to do it? And I'm not saying I want
Yeah,
to do like Unc, you know what I'm saying? But I want to be myself.
yeah.
So I
That's it.
sound like Tone Loc today. That's what I sound like. You know what I'm saying? And next week I may sound like something else, you know, but I'm gonna be
You
who
know,
I am,
you
right?
never know.
So
You never
that's
know.
how it is. You don't know. So
You don't know.
one last question too before we wrap things up, right? This has been a great build, really
I
great
mean,
build.
bro.
What's your favorite thing about Qatar? Living here, working here. What's your
I'll tell you,
favorite
bro.
thing about
So
the country?
you know what's funny, bro?
Other
I'll tell
than
you this, right?
Kamchi.
No, no.
Kamachi, that's
So,
what it's called?
uh,
Kamachi.
Shad,
Other than Kamachi.
one
What
day
else?
one day they sponsor us.
If y'all listening, sponsor us, you dig? Yeah.
Like I would even do it for free. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? At this
fact.
point,
Fact. At this point, yeah. For you
at this
for
point, I'll
sure.
do it for free, man. I just wanted that food. You know what I'm saying?
For real, for real.
No, man.
Yeah.
But those guys are good people, and mashallah, bro. I wish
Facts.
them the best.
Facts.
Good
Mashallah.
restaurant. Shout them out.
Yes. Yes.
So, Qatar, bro, is a beautiful country. It's safe. It's Islamic. I can list many things, um, but the most beautiful thing about Qatar, and going back, I have a couple of things on my list. But number
Do
one,
you
the
think?
most beautiful thing about Qatar is that in every corner I can pray. There's a prayer room, there's a mosque, there's a musalla, so I can
Right.
pray. Like I have, and the musalla is attached to somewhere where I can make wudu. You know what I'm saying? When you
Fact.
come, obviously the number of Muslims is growing in the West, which is amazing. But
Alhamdulillah.
to have the ability where I can just pull over, go to any random mall. I can go to a hotel, whatever it is. I'm driving, or not even there's a mosque at every block. That is, people don't understand how great that feels like to go, because then you have no excuse, because the greatest connection you can make is a connection between you and your God. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That is
Yes.
that is the greatest connection. Everything else is secondary. But and sometimes we take it for granted, the fact that we have all these mosques and all these things, where we get lost in this dunya. We're working, and I myself,
Mhm.
like I'm also, this is like me speaking to the choir. You know, like I'm saying this out loud to not only tell people but to tell myself as well. You know,
Yeah.
so I don't have an excuse to not pray on time. I don't have an excuse to not pray in general, like, or to stack up the prayers as we do, as Muslims. You know,
Yeah.
we stack them
Yeah.
up, which is wrong. So
Yeah.
that's the beautiful thing about Qatar, man. That's the most beautiful. There's a mosque in every corner, man. Like, you can connect with God all the time. Even forget prayers,
Yeah.
you can just pull up early, read some Quran, pray Sunnah, vibe out. It's the so we need to. We're too logged into this life, and we need to, like, sometimes log out and connect with Allah more.
Yeah.
Myself included, to be honest.
We all do. We're not all above approach. We all can do better, right? So
Yeah,
you made a good point. Me, being a Christian for a long time in my life, in America, you see churches all over the place. So you see them on every corner. Especially in the hood. You see them all over the place. But now, when I come here, the churches are replaced by mosques,
yeah,
and I see them on every corner. And
facts.
not only do I see them on every corner, I hear the Adhan on every corner. Sometimes
Loud,
the Adhans are
amazing.
competing against one another, right? Because there's so
Oh
many
man,
in one proximity, right? And
yeah.
so, mashallah, right? Like, Allahumma barak. Like, it
Allah Mubarak.
sounds beautiful, right? And so that's number one. And the thing that you said was so key. There is no excuse in a Muslim country to not pray on time and to not be focused on what we're supposed to be focused on for the
Mm.
akhirah, right?
So
So when I was in the U.S., I used to work in HR, and I used to have trouble sometimes going to the masjid on Fridays for Juma, and then going to get the bite to eat because I'd be out for an hour and a half. The company
facts.
policy said only a half an hour or an
Yeah,
hour,
yeah.
and to a point where you come here, it's like, well, we're off on Friday. This is amazing. Like, it's a little things. I really was saying in life, it's just the little things that make
It
a
is,
big
man.
difference.
It is, bro.
And then now being here to do that, and I can go with my wife. Amazing. I'm not competing against anything else. Everyone's happy when they go. They're not stressed about going back to work. You can make a day out of it with your family if you want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So again, Qatar to me has been an unexpected friend. I
Yeah,
never thought I would come here and fall in love with it.
yeah, yeah, man.
But now that I have, it's going to be very hard for me to leave, and so, and that's the case. I'm lucky, and my first expat
Alhamdulillah.
experience, I'm lucky that this is
Alhamdulillah.
Qatar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's what I would say about this beautiful country. People are great. Don't change anything. It's on the right path. You know what I'm saying? So
Alhamdulillah.
definitely. My brother, we are almost at the hour mark, so
My
I'm gonna have to shut
brother.
this thing down. Shut
It
it
was
down.
it was quite the experience.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to
Sir.
2024.
2024 is full of effect. Full effect. Hey, what's one resolution you got, Phil? What we doing?
Listen, brother.
2024.
I told you, brother. I have one resolution, brother. My resolution, brother, is to connect with Allah. Everything
Yes.
else is secondary. I could care
Yes.
less if if if
Yes.
my if my connection with God is trash, then my connection with people are going to be trash. Then my
Trash.
connection with my
Yeah.
community is going to be trash. Then my connection with the world's going to be trash. So that's my so I'm listen, bro. These resolutions, these things, scrap them out the window. And I'm focusing on purely spirituality. That's it. So just to be spirituality, and then after that, once I fill up that cup, then I'm gonna go to physical. Then once I go to that cup, then I'm going to go to mental. or or vice versa, mental and then
Yeah.
physical.
Yeah. No, I
So
get
that's
it.
my goal.
I get it.
That's my
Yeah.
goals, man. I'm
Yeah.
ready to apply, execute, smash. Simple as
Right.
that.
Sometimes like how like in weightlifting they have
Yeah.
those supersets where like it's like the whole like body you're using. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah,
not
yeah,
using
yeah,
just like your forearms or
yeah.
your biceps. You're doing a whole body workout.
Yeah, full
That's what
body
it is.
workout.
What you just said right
Yeah,
there. If I
yeah,
take
bro.
care of this, everything else will flow. You know what I'm saying?
Everything
So the quality of it.
will trickle
Right.
down, man. That's it.
Right. Yes.
We're getting lost in the sauce. I'll tell you that.
Right. Not in fact, this is the trickle down that we need. We don't need the Reagan's '80s trichonomics.
It's funny. Some people don't even remember that.
They don't know about that,
They don't know
but
about the Reagan era.
yeah, the Reagan era trickle down economics. We don't need
Trickle
that,
down
but
economics. Oh,
we need
man.
that Bodica to flow down. You know what I'm saying? If we handle that one goal, so just like you
Yeah,
said, that's all that matters anyway. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So
What's
that's
your
really all that matters in the
what's
grand
your
scheme. So.
what's your goals looking like? Talk to me.
Well, I'm gonna steal the one you just said. You know what I'm saying? For sure, that's the one. But to be honest with you, man, to be honest with you, just to be more patient.
Mm,
Sometimes I lack sabr, and just want to be more patient, man. I'm always rushing. I want to get stuff done, get it done, but at the same time, it's already whatever's for me is already done.
absolutely.
First and foremost, and then secondly, maybe I'm looking at it like, okay, well, where's my faith? Is my iman at a level where I can relax and know that
Facts.
it's going to be taken care of? You understand what I'm
Facts.
saying? So why am I rushing?
What's funny?
What are
You
we
mentioned
talking about?
so there's three things. Or there's three things going forward. You mentioned two of them, right? So,
Yeah,
one of my boys sent me this picture the other day, right?
yeah.
And it was it was a very profound picture. He's like Allah tests you three ways. Okay, He tests you three ways. Okay, the first way is that He gives you something that you asked for, and He tests you through gratitude. Okay,
Mm.
then He takes away or prolongs something that you've asked for, and it's taken its time to be done, and He tests your patience. Okay,
Mm.
and then the last one is that He tests if you believe, and that's Him testing your faith. So those three things: so
Yeah,
gratitude,
yeah,
patience, and faith. You know what I'm
yes, yes. I like what your friend is doing. We need more friends in the circles like that. You know what I mean?
saying?
Sending those things along, But
Yeah,
yeah, man, just not trying to like get some sympathy points, whatever, like that. But it's like it's real. Like
it's real,
we
bro.
need to be more patient, man. And those things that are testing us, we all have our tests. You know what I'm saying? So the next episode we'll talk about my experience for Umrah in
I'm so
Saudi
excited for
and the
that, man.
test
I'm
and the
so
test that
excited.
I went through.
Oh, bro.
Ooh,
Umrah, bro, is a great topic, man. I'm very excited
yeah.
for that.
We gonna hop on that next one, you know what I'm saying? So,
Oh, bro, people ain't
but
ready, man. People ain't ready.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're ready yet, man. But we gonna talk about that. But Lex, it's been a great build, my friend, my brother. It's
My
all
brother,
love,
man.
man. I'm glad that
All
we
love.
finally got to this point to do this. Fi amanallah, may Allah protect you. You know what I'm saying?
I
I
mean.
mean, and then we're gonna come back with episode 2, people. This is just an appetizer. You know what I'm saying? This is the mozzarella
Ooh.
sticks at Applebee's. You understand? This is what else? What other
This
appetizers
is,
out there? I don't know.
bro. I haven't
You
been to
know,
Applebee's I haven't been to Applebee's in
right?
years,
I don't know.
brother. You're asking the
Sticking out
wrong
my neck.
person.
You know what I mean?
Listen, bro. This is the bruschetta before the pasta. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
This is the
It's the
scallops.
boneless wings.
Ooh, you
You
know
know
what
what
I'm
I
saying?
mean?
This is the
6-piece
scallops,
boneless wings.
a little bit of caviar. You feel me?
You know what I mean? This is just a small little like one course of the 5 courses. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna be back
Um,
next week,
I
inshallah.
man.
Hope y'all are entertained.
Inshallah, khair,
Hope you
brother.
were educated. Hope you were informed. Signing off, Expat Bros. We out.
We out of here. Out.
Out.